So here we are at Barking Fig Urban Farm, and here, lemongrass, ginger, lots of tomatillos, peppers, eggplant, squash, beautiful flowers, a hill full of tomatillos and peppers. So we're here at Barking Fig to talk about compost. In the kitchen, we've got lots of lovely food right now: figs, tomatillos, eggplant, all that good stuff. And when we're trimming off the tops, then all that kind of stuff, we don't throw it away. It goes right into the little bowls down below and stays there until it's full, or roughly full. So I've got tea bags and fig tops, strawberries, cucumbers, all that good stuff stays there for a couple of, maybe a day or so. And that's the first step. So heading outside for step number 2. This is where all that compost goes after it's full, but I'm not yet ready to take it out to the big composting area. So I just drilled holes in a big tub, and inside here there's all kinds of paper that I would otherwise be recycling, and just trimmings from the plants that I've just pulled up around the yard. And figs are down there. They're just a few. It's just got emptied yesterday. But I make sure I put paper or something on top of that to kind of keep the fruit flies at bay. So that's step 2 in the composting process. And all this good stuff will stay here until, it's mostly full, or I'm ready to turn some compost. So we're heading out to the compost area, but you'll notice as we're walking by, there are buckets all over the place. Now, for when we're trimming vegetables, pulling any leaves off of plants, and all that kind of stuff is ready to take over to the compost whenever, but we like to let it sit in the pot so that it kind of gets cooked a little bit, gets dried out before we put it in the compost. So we're heading out here. There's the greenhouse. Ooh, lots of strawberries, charred peppers, raspberries. So here's our compost area. And so lots of browns are here. There's kind of a holding area there. And then we've got a 3-bin system over there with some shavings that kind of help out. So let's talk about what we use to compost. When composting, it's pretty important to have browns handy. So stuff like straw, stuff like just old plants you pulled up out of the garden, like these are old calendula plants that I'd chop up, make them smaller so they'll disintegrate faster. Stuff like green leaves from fig. I'll pull the leaves off and then put that in the round area here. And then I've got a whole bunch of browns to use. So if you didn't have a lot of money or resources, I would get just somebody's old throwaway metal like we did here, turn it into a round, and then just use it as a compost heap. That would be a really great beginning. So you can certainly compost that way for a good long time. We've got a lot of compost here and a lot of garden to keep up with. So our system is a little bit bigger than otherwise it might be. This area here, we've got pavers on the bottom and cinder block around the edge. And this area is movable so that we can have more sand and less soil, or vice versa. So sand is really helpful to have around. Kind of can help the soil drain a little bit better. And even our neighbor brings compost over. So I have some shavings in the bottom, and she just puts her garden compost there, and we've got extra stuff to deal with. So the bin system is it's great. We've got this area here is the newest area. So if I can get a close up here, you can see like there's a squash disintegrating. I get coffee grounds from the coffee shop nearby and little sugar packets, but that's paper, so those are perfect to degrade in your compost system. So this is the newest compost. I just added stuff onto it yesterday. You can see paper, the paper system that I use, and that'll turn into soil, which is pretty cool. We've got some more browns here. This was stuff that was actually sitting in the round compost bin for almost a year, and big branches and lots of leaves, and it's disintegrating it's so lovely. It's ready to be used for the compost system. This is the one that's almost ready, and this is a good deal of this stuff is coffee grounds, lots of paper and some leaves, and it's turning into beautiful soil. So one thing that is really handy to have around is this kind of stuff, shavings, and I just get that at the farmer's co-op, and that stuff disintegrates really quickly. So if you don't have very many browns around, that's good to have. So for the ratio of greens to browns in compost should be about 1 to 4 or 1 to 3. And some people can get away with 1 to 2 depending on what your greens are like. It's really handy to have a pitchfork around. And that's pretty much how we do our beautiful compost here. These coffee grounds make the compost so hot. So if I'll see if I can turn this camera off for a second, come right back, and I'll show you how hot it really is. Okay, so this might be a little bit tricky. I'm doing this one-handed and one-footed. It is so hot here. I don't know if you can see that steam rising off, but I'm in sandals. I can definitely feel it. You could bake a potato in there. It is so hot. So that's the difference between hot composting and cold composting. Is it's definitely a little bit slower, and you've got more greens and less browns. I make sure I water the compost every day, just because it helps everything disintegrate better. So hot composting, this is our first time doing it. We've always done cold composting, which yields really great results. So I'll show you the finished product, which is over in our new bed. So this bed just got planted with peas and crimson clover, which is actually starting to sprout. So this on top is all compost. It's been mixed in with the soil and makes really great food. So compost is the very cornerstone of our garden. So thanks for playing. See you later.